Hello, Leo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 31st through September 6th. During that time, we'll have a first quarter moon that happens on the 31st through the 1st, kind of depending on where you are. And a first quarter moon can be very much like a full moon in the energy. It's when you feel a little bit impulsive, impatient, maybe your mind's very active, just really hard to settle down and get anything done. So it's a good time to maybe practice meditation if you need to calm down, or to use that energy, that high energy level for something that needs that. So pay attention to that. We then move into the waxing gibbous energy, where it's the calm back down, a good time for deeper understanding and outlook, and a good time to act on your intuition and your introspection. So time to buckle down, get to work, do planning, preparation, and execute things that you've started working on. So please pay attention to those moon energies as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Leo. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, Leo: balance spirituality and practicality. All right, let's see what the Leo Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, Leo, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button, and of course hit the like button if you actually like this video when you're done with it. It really helps my channel, and it is super easy for you to do. So I will give you just a moment to hit that subscribe button right now. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you, and I really do appreciate you. So thank you so much. My weekly reminder as I'm shuffling is that you keep a spiritual journal. Sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our life when it comes to our spiritual experiences. So keeping track of things that you learn, and this could be things like synchronicities, dreams, encounters that you may have, and just kind of jot those down in a journal, and you can look back later and see the emerging patterns. It's just a good time to have that. It can be important as you're evolving spiritually to be able to look back and see, oh, here's when I learned this thing, and and I've been applying it, or I forgot to apply that thing. Oh, it's kind of a little reminder. So, all right, we've got cards starting to fly out for you already, Leo. Let's get into this reading. August 31st through September 6th, balance, spirituality, and practicality. All right, and your overall present energy, Nine of Pentacles, which is very nice. This is very just kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor, just sitting in a place where you're feeling abundant, you're feeling like things are accomplished, things are done, things are done in your material world. And you're just kind of enjoying that. You're sitting in that energy of so please enjoy that a little bit. Your current situation is that you might hear right at the end of something with the 10 of Wands. So kind of doing a final push through on something that's wrapping up for you. This could be something internal, external. Hold on. Excuse me with the sneezing. This could be something internal or external, but something that you're wrapping up. And I don't see that it seems very stressful. You're just kind of doing that final push, and you're, probably enjoying it with the energy that you have, that you're enjoying, that you're able to wrap this thing up and maybe move on. Tens always mean, endings always mean new beginnings. So you might be looking forward to that. At the root of your situation is the Wheel of Fortune. So it could be that, that something has come in that's been fortunate for you, which if it has, awesome, that's great. This could be just money that came out of nowhere. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's about things that happen, and maybe you weren't expecting it, something a little bit, unexpected. But this can be also about just that you're evolving, that the wheel, I always say that song, the wheel in the sky keeps turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. And that's kind of the surprise element of the Wheel of Fortune is that you could do something, you could meet someone new, or somebody that you need to know to advance you in some manner. This could be some romantic involvement that happens. It's just something that kind of gets in your path that changes your trajectory in some way, and it seems to be that is at the root of your situation this week. Just behind you is the Hierophant. So might be coming out of a place where someone has given you some sort of guidance or wisdom, or you've been seeking that sort of thing. It might be why you're at a tarot reading right now, kind of following tarot readers on the internet. Or, maybe it could be someone, it's usually in the spiritual realm. Excuse me. So, it could be that you've gone to a church service, or you've reached out to, someone in the clergy for some sort of wisdom and advice, or you're just looking for people that you feel like can help you at some way in your own spiritual evolution. So, that's the energy in which you're coming out of and into this current situation right now. What is on your mind this week is the Three of Swords. So, what's on your mind is a little bit of a broken heart, and maybe trying to overcome that. There's something that maybe was a little bit disappointing for some reason. um there can there's a gamut of emotions here with this Three of Swords. I feel like it kind of depends on where it lands in your reading, right? So when it's something that's on your mind, I feel like it's almost something that's in the past that you're still maybe kind of just working through mentally. It's not something that's happening or has happened like super recently, but almost like your mind's trying to work it out and trying to put those pieces together. So it's not incredibly emotional. It's almost like just that little splinter that's in there that you can't quite get rid of, and you're trying to work through it. And I really just get that feeling when it comes to this, that and again, your overall message was balance, spirituality, and practicality. If there's anything about any kind of heartbreak or disappointment, it's definitely that there's always some sort of spiritual component in there. There's always some lesson to be learned. And maybe if you can reframe it in that way to think, what was I supposed to learn from this thing that was a heartbreak or disappointment that I went through. Now that I'm away from it a little bit and can step back and look at the big picture, what is it that I was supposed to learn there? And have you taken the time to grasp onto that and to really incorporate whatever that learning was into your day-to-day life? What is just ahead of you this week is, yeah, thinking about the future here with the Six of Swords. So, I think if you can wrap this up and this thing in your mind, that you can move on and think about the future a little bit more. And this is, new thoughts, new ideas, new people, new places, new things. And again, this can be turned over in a second with this Wheel of Fortune. And it looks like it may this week. Something might just get in your path. It's like, oh, click one little move and changes your whole trajectory. And again, it could be, one person that you meet, one book that you read, one just something that gets in your path that just gives you that little tilt, that little change. In your advice position is the Hanged Man this week. So, this is gaining a new perspective. That totally goes to me with the Wheel of Fortune, is that, especially if you're looking for a new perspective with this Hierophant, you're wrapping something up, you're getting over something mentally. This Hangman is telling you to go ahead and grasp onto that new perspective. Like I said, that thing that gets in your path that just changes your mindset, just a click. But it changes your perspective and kind of points you in a new direction. So that's why we're here to learn. What is beyond your control this week is your ultimate happiness with the Sun card. So, that makes perfect sense to me too, that it's beyond your control to just maybe have a happy week kind of as you're working through these things. And again, whatever this thing that gets in your path is probably, if the sun is unavoidable, then it is some sort of light thing. It's something that's going to make you smile a little bit, something that's going to make you happy, which is good. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? Is a little bit of celebration. And this is to me, this is a card of like community. This is not only that you're having a little small victory, but that other people are noticing that as well. And this could be something, even just a celebration of something, something that you've just accomplished or you're going through. I mean, this could even be a birthday. I know we're kind of in Leo birthday season right now, so it could be just a little bit of a celebration. Is that your secret desire, or are you trying to avoid that? That's kind of funny. I think a lot of us, depending on our age, we're kind of trying to avoid those birthdays a little bit more than we used to. So that'll be a question for you. Are you trying to avoid that, or is it your secret desire to celebrate yourself in that manner? And your outcome this week is the Death card. So this goes with this ending. So I feel like you're kind of turning over a new leaf. I don't, I just see this as an ending. It's an ending, and I think it's an ending in a way of thinking, for some reason, something that something gets in front of you that just changes the way you're thinking, and that's great. I think that's the perfect way to evolve. I don't even get that this is a negative thing. I feel like this is a positive thing, that you're moving towards the future, new thoughts, new ideas, new perspective, a new happiness, and you're kind of working out and getting over this heartbreak or this thing that is that's kind of plagued you. And back to the very beginning energy, your overall energy is to really enjoy the fruits of your labor. So even as you're working this out in your mind, you're having a great time doing it. What is hidden from you this week is the King of Cups, which is kind of our, knowledge of emotions, and kind of that, you know, understanding of your own emotions, but also the people around you. And you might still be working that out. It's, if it's hidden from you this week, it's almost like it's not at the forefront. You might be working on kind of logical things. Maybe next week or in the next few weeks, you get to this logical or this emotional part of it, the feeling part of it. Right now you're kind of just working out the logic part of it, um, with those swords, with that air energy, where this will get more into water energy. And I feel like maybe you're just not quite there yet when it comes to this particular issue, that you're just maybe not ready to work out those feelings yet, but you're definitely working on the logic part of it. So I hope that makes sense to you, Leo. Let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final word for Leo as they work out this thing in their mind that's kind of been with them. It looks like they're going to wrap it up this week. Correct your mistakes. So, and that's a part of looking at that big picture, right? That's looking back, what was my involvement in whatever this heartbreak, this thing, even though, it could have been brought on by another person, place, thing. We always have our own involvement, that kind of agreed to something and said yes to something. And, there's, again, it's all about learning and learning what we need to take from it. So make sure that you're paying attention, and whatever that is, find the lesson, and find where you can correct it yourself. So, all right. And your self-care card this week says Sovereign. Let's see what this says for the Leo here, King of the Jungle. You are the queen of your life, or king, I guess, depending. Treat yourself like royalty. So, wow. So be good to yourself this week, right? Okay, Leo, I think that's it. I hope there's something that you can take from this reading and use in your own life this week. Of course, if you're comfortable commenting, drop me a comment down below and let me know, if there's something that really spoke to you, if there's something that you're going through, something you're wrapping up here. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. Again, it really helps my channel, pushes me out in the algorithm, and I really appreciate that. But most importantly, Leo, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, and good luck with all of this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.